I didn't know Birdie was on there. Where was I?
Well, I don't know. It's like last month. Here we go, y'all.
We can talk about love. We can talk about joy. We can talk about. We can talk about love. We can talk about faith. We can talk about trust. We can tell our lies. Be sure we build us.
It's the place where the faith is the face, and you're reminded of his goodness that you see if you taste. Testimonies from the least to the great that remind you there's not one of us not in need of his grace. With music that helps you breathe and relate, that reminds you of God's presence and the peace that awaits. A holy and much needed escape from the news. The good news, the King speaks at the gate. But speak in the name of Jesus is safe, and he dwells in the midst, because here he's receiving our praise. Freedom for slaves, again retreating from graves and being drawn. That's what happens when he gets erased.
Spread the gospel. Gospel of love, joy, faith, peace, hope, and righteousness. We can talk about love. We can talk about Lord. We can talk about Lord. We can talk about more. We can talk about faith. We can talk about trust. We can talk about life. Make sure we build in us.
Be the release from the streets of sleep, conversations of hell. If you're talking about life, then you're talking about Christ, because you're talking about something else. It's a vibe, it's not a vibe. It's a sign for the tribe, a lifeline for yourself. It's supplied by the vine. It's a plug to the light, so when you thrive, you can shine. Well,
let's talk gospel. Let's talk gospel. Let's talk gospel. Let's talk gospel.
Hey,
Let's talk gospel.
come on.
Let's talk gospel. Let's talk gospel.
It's the time.
Let's talk gospel.
Guys.
Wait, there I got it.
All right. Let's talk about it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live right here on Facebook, YouTube, and also our stations, CHH Jams Collective, continuing Don't Stop Jams. We'll be live on there next Friday and everything. So we're getting everything wrapped up and put together and stuff. So welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Gospel V.T.S. Virtual Talk Show. Feels like we haven't been here in a while. I know last Friday we didn't even have a show. And it feels like we all haven't been together in a minute. Man.
Oh, I know.
I know what Birdie been doing, but I know, our sister Kimberly just been playing hooky. But how you feeling?
I wish I was playing hooky and I can have an excuse, but no, I have been working.
Hey,
and something
right.
Something has to give, because it's pulling me away from my calling. But I missed y'all. I really missed y'all, and it's so busy. I can't even every time I turn on the shows, I can't watch them because it's so busy at work. It's like nonstop. So I don't get to hear if Birdie's talking about me or he talking about my Falcons, or I don't get to hear none of that. You know,
man, I don't mention them dudes. I don't mention your football team.
They're men. They are men. Okay.
I don't mention them dudes.
Men.
Anyway, I'm trying to recoup. Anyway, I was online watching Bishop Sapp church, and I had to donate some money. So I'm trying to recoup.
Did you get $20?
Oh my God.
I hope you gave your full $20.
He wouldn't let me leave.
That's what I was about to tell everybody. As soon as they start coming in the chat, as soon as you start coming in the comments, lock the bedroom door and don't go not leave it, y'all don't.
We just need 5. Just put 5 on it. Just 5.
you go. And like Pat said, since y'all are here on stage, you got to pay more. Y'all got to pay 10. So
I'm down bad. I'll send you mine next week when I get my check.
Oh my! That was something else. I mean, I think I could have went the rest of the night not even knowing about that. Birdie asked me, "Did I hear about it?" I was like, "Nah, what's going on?" I listened to the video. I'm like, oh, "Come on, man, come on."
I wouldn't believe it when I heard it. I was like, that ain't true. That is not true.
I need some clarity. Like there has to be more than the video. He doesn't strike me as that type. There has to be more to it and stuff, like something that they're trying to do with the church or something. Because just to do that, honestly, he doesn't strike me like that type. So I need to research it more and find out what's exactly what's going on and what was the purpose behind it.
Well, I know what I saw. He was definitely saying lock them doors.
He said that. He was
definitely saying what did he say? It's 1,000 of you online. It's 1,000 of you here. He did say that. So
I don't know what the context is, but the way that he went,
I don't either.
Somebody had to have said, "Pastor, this is not a good look." Somebody had to have said that. Even if he brushed them off, somebody had to have said, "Pastor, I don't think this is a good look."
Let's hope somebody said that. Let's hope.
Man, I don't know. But shout out to everybody that's in the comments already, man. Our brother Frederick Hallelujah jumped in the comments. Our sister Angela Conley, we really appreciate you. Put your book website in the comments so we can definitely get people to start purchasing your journal and everything of that nature, man. Yeah, I know. I saw the video. I'm still not happy about it. Connie Dodson, shout out to you. Hello to you as well. Hello to everybody that's watching, man. Everybody that would be checking out the replay. Shout out to y'all, man. We really appreciate y'all. If you're listening to this later on one of the podcast networks, we definitely appreciate y'all, man. I got an inbox from somebody earlier today, a couple of hours ago today, and they were saying that they were talking about, hey, I really enjoy y'all show and everything. I really enjoy that y'all have the show on. So just want to shout out that person and say we thank you very much for checking out the show and seeing what we're doing, man. Even though we cut back hours and everything, we're down to 1 day a week, but we definitely really appreciate that. And like I said before, that was done on purpose because we each have a lot going on, whereas 5 nights a week was going to start to be a little bit much for us to try to take care of those duties and take care of the duties of our business. And like we always say, our first ministry is our home, so you got to take care of that first. And if that's not being taken care of, then hey, I don't know what you're doing for real. But before we get too deep into it, let's go ahead and bring our sister up here because she ain't really a guest, man. For real, for real. We just, she's family, part of the Level Up Nation family. She has her own show, Food for Talk. She has written 2 numbers. 2 numbers. She has written 2 books. Numbers is the name of the book. So let's go ahead and check out our sister. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Shout out to our brother Complete. Just saw that down there. What's good, Complete? Kelly Hawkins is in the building, y'all. Let's go, level up this family.
Go Kelly. Go
They're doing a half of a wave.
Go Kelly. Go Kelly.
Oh my goodness. Don't tell
Don't get me started running,
Oh
man.
my goodness.
And Kimberly up there doing the daggone Major Payne. Or the Martin Lawrence, whichever one you want to call it. Man. What's good, Kelly?
I heard y'all talking about the whole lock the door, lock them in. Come on now.
Oh, he must be listening to a different show. We wouldn't do that.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Look, let me tell you something. It is hard, especially after COVID. I don't know about you guys, but after COVID,
it's hard to get back into that routine where we were before. And I know that I went to watch night service. And watch night service is the New Year's Eve service. I normally brought New Year's in church. But for something like that to happen, that will sour a lot of people from like going to the church.
See, let me stop you right there. Because I keep hearing that. Even though I just heard the video and I just saw the video, but I keep hearing people say that same thing. Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna stop people from. No, it's not. Because you know why? They weren't going in the first place. It ain't gonna stop nobody from going who weren't already going. And if you use that as an excuse, you were just looking for another excuse just not to go. That's all that is. I mean, I don't know. It's just like on the war room when we were talking about how if you commit a sin and you're a Christian, you commit a sin, then a lot of people start trying to jump down on you about being a sinner and things of that nature. Oh my God, you know better than that. It's just like, not saying he committed a sin, but it's just like the situation of, you don't condemn the person for doing wrong. You try to understand what's going on and pray with that person, lift up that person, let that person still feel like they're loved. You know what I'm saying? They're embraced. How many people, and I don't want to go too deep into the rabbit hole, but how many people do you think committed suicide because they were scared to let somebody know that they did something, instead of having somebody that they could open up to and be free with? They felt like they had to take it with them before somebody ostracized them.
I mean, I understand that. But
Yeah.
the thing about it is you're gonna tithe, you're gonna give anyway. Because you are a member of that establishment. You're gonna tithe and you're gonna give anyway. But the thing about it is that people are losing and again, the ministers are just the vessels. They're just the vessels to deliver the word. And so we're not passing judgment concerning the ministers, but in the same breath, that will deter certain people from actually going to that particular church. Like I would probably go to another church or whatever, but there's just so many negative things to attach to that. Um, and honestly, we got so much negative things that are going on. Period. It's just another disappointing thing to reflect on. So it's unfortunate, but you should have that embodied in you anyway. The actual building is just where you go to fellowship with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
but the internet is always going to be hot.
Oh, I can't wait to see
Always.
the memes that are gonna come out this week.
Oh, I've shared several already. Please believe.
Not the Carlton Banks really had he took all his little characters and had them participating as if they were at the church when it happened. That was hilarious. It was hilarious. He was hilarious.
I don't know. I'd really like to hear, in all seriousness, I'd like to hear more context and hear what the bishop has to say, because you've never heard about him in any type of confusion, any type of scandal or nothing. So to have this happen, it's more shocking than anything.
Hold up. He was in a scandal some years back.
I hadn't heard nothing about it. I hadn't heard nothing about it.
All
So
over them, the little chick that was liking him ended up
oh, here we go. Here we go. I don't know about all that.
We're not even gonna
I
go
don't know
there.
about all that. No,
And then I saw some little video of him and Kirk doing whatever on the stage a few weeks ago. I don't.
Oh Lord.
I don't know what that was. They were both in a trance, and it wasn't no gospel dancing. I can tell you
Here
that.
we go.
So. Yes, he's been off himself a little lately,
The views expressed here belong to Kimberly Howell and Kimberly Howell alone. I have a new single coming out, and some people might listen to my music that listens to his music.
I forgot to give the disclaimer music.
This has so fans of the good Bishop that might happen to hear Bernie's music. I don't have nothing to do with that. Love y'all. Walk It Out coming out soon. Okay.
So let's jump into Kelly's book, man, because a lot of people are tuning in and they jumping in. They want to hear about Kelly's book. So Kelly, I gotta ask you, you've been on so many podcasts already. How can a brother like myself, because I'll talk about myself quick. How can a brother like myself get rid of all this fat back?
Lord.
I need the help with the fat back, Kelly.
So
This dude
basically,
said back.
it's all
Like we
about
talking
diet.
about greens.
Don't get hungry, Birdie. Calm down. Don't get hungry.
I'm just saying. Go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet.
I know you right
it's
there
all
next to the
about
kitchen.
diet.
Don't get hungry.
Diet is actually 80% of everything. Period. It's all about diet. And a lot of people push specific diet trends. I don't push diet trends. The only thing that I advocate for is low carb. Low carb will make a diabetic, a type 2 diabetic's life a lot more easier to manage. It will also allow them to get their numbers back into a more manageable range. So I know that I've talked about my story, but I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic back in 2015. Now, at the time, when they gave me what my numbers were, my A1C was 16.6. And so honestly, I shouldn't even be sitting here talking with you guys. I could have had a stroke at any moment. So let me explain to you why that 16.6 A1C was so very, very dangerous. Your A1C, your normal A1C is only supposed to be between a 4 and a 5.6. So I was way over where I should have been. Your daily glucose numbers should only be between like an 80 and like 125. Mine was around 425. That was my average daily. And I can't tell you how long that was, but that's where that 16.6 count came from. So at that time, my vision was affected. I had extremely blurred vision. The blurred vision that I had, it cannot be corrected with glasses. So let me explain to you what my blurred vision was. My blurred vision was fluid that was leaking into the lens of my eye because my blood sugar was so high. So that could have caused me to become blind. I had numbing in my fingertips. One morning when I woke up, this whole part of my hand was numb. Those types of things are not normal. And so the reason why I wrote both numbers, volume 1 and volume 2, is because I took my health back. And I'm not even on medication. They took me off of my medication back in 2018. I've maintained an A1C between a 5.2 and a 5.7 all of these years. So what I have done has worked for me. And it's not like you're doing anything extreme, but you're just taking like simple things. For instance, instead of tortilla chips, I eat bean chips. Bean chips are more healthier for a type 2 diabetic. Instead of eating regular potato chips, I eat sweet potato chips.
Now I love those. Those and that particular brand is the bomb too.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, these are really, really good. So again, it's not that you're doing
Why y'all
extreme
laughing?
things.
I don't understand why y'all laughing.
Cause you ghetto. You ghetto. I love those. You ghetto. I love me some of those.
Such a hater.
She saw them chips. I love those.
Hey,
I'm encouraging people.
like we weren't gonna catch that.
I'm just encouraging people to get the taro chips. That's all.
They're actually really good.
They are. I've tried them before, but I just didn't regularly get them. But we, like you said, a lot of us have heard, your story and what you went through and everything. But one thing that you haven't really touched on a lot of times when you're on a lot of different shows, and that I wanted to talk to you about, how did your husband and your family start reacting to what was going on with you? Did anybody ever say that, hey, oh, I noticed this, but I just didn't say anything? Because sometimes we'll have family members or friends be like, well, I can tell you were acting like this, that, or you wasn't really right, but I just thought you already knew. Was any of that? How is the other side receptive to what was going on and how you had to make a change from what was going on?
So a lot of times when we have health issues, we go about our day as a normal. And so unless you have, I guess my weight would have been a telltale sign, but my weight fluctuates. But I was obese. I was probably around 250 pounds. I've never been that large ever, not even with having children. Have I've been that large. And so again, there are times that your family doesn't know because you don't say anything. At that time I was not married, so it was me and my children. um Again, the only telltale sign that they would have known is the fact that I was overweight. But again, um they were young, so they're not gonna really catch on to those things. And honestly, when I started having the vision problems, I didn't say anything to anybody. I acted like things were normal. But a lot of people who have medical conditions, a lot of people don't speak up and say things. A lot of people are afraid to go to the doctor because they're afraid of the diagnosis, because they know something is wrong, but they're afraid of the diagnosis. I will tell you that my sister, at the time, when I told her what was going on, she's been a nurse for like over 40 years. And I told her that the doctor had called me and told me that my A1C was 16.6. And she was like, no, the doctor didn't say it. The nurse told me that my hemoglobin was a 16.6. So she really flubbed the actual term. It's not hemoglobin. She should have said hemoglobin A1C. But I didn't know because I'm not the medical professional. But my sister is. And she was like, well, Kelli, if I know what she's talking about, she was like, your A1C is only supposed to be like a 5. And she said, well, when is your next doctor's appointment? At the time, my next doctor's appointment was Monday, and this was Thursday. And my sister got angry at me. Like, she was angry at me. And we had just, basically, we had just met each other. These are my sisters that I have never met before. So we got in contact with one another back in 2014. And I went to visit them for the very first time for Thanksgiving of 2015. And so this was when I got back from that trip, and she was angry at me, and I was like, well, what's wrong with her? She said, Kelly, I need for you to call your doctors right now. You should have had an appointment yesterday. And she was mad. Again, she was angry at me. So I called them back, and I was like, hey, do you guys have, an appointment for me for tomorrow? They got me in. Now, they took my blood sugar, and I hadn't eaten anything. My blood sugar was like 240 something. I could have had a stroke. And so that's the reason why my sister was angry, because she was angry because as medical professionals, they should have known that. They should not have had an appointment for Monday. They should have basically had me come in that same day.
You was walking around with diabetic coma levels.
Yes, I was.
Mm-hmm.
I could have had a stroke at any time. And in fact, on the way back from the trip, I started having those types of symptoms. I was blurring my words. I was very forgetful. I knew the words, the lyrics to the songs that were playing on the radio. I could not remember the lyrics when I was singing them. So I was basically having like little slight signs of stroke.
Now, Kelly, what was that you said the hemoglobin should be? I didn't open my labs that came yesterday, and I just decided to open them while you was talking about them.
So when they say hemoglobin, and when they're talking about your A1C numbers, she should have said hemoglobin A1C or just A1C. She just said hemoglobin.
So what's the number? What should the number be?
So your number should be between like a 4 and a 5.6. Anything above a 5.6, you're either pre-diabetic or you're full-fledged diabetic.
So if it's red, is that bad?
Ooh.
It's red.
It's red?
Yeah. It says pre-diabetes.
Oh. So that means that if it says that you're in that pre-diabetic range, that means that your A1C is between a 5.6 and a 6.5.
It's a 5.8. It's a 5.8.
5.8. Okay. So I mean, you're like on that borderline. They're not going to medicate you for that. They're going to, basically tell you diet and exercise. Can help you get your numbers back under that 5.6 range.
Go get you some of them bean chips.
And stop watching the Falcons play football.
My Falcons have nothing to do with this.
messing up your whole system.
Man. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, man, this is Let's Talk Gospel V.T.S. Man, we're sitting down with our sister Kelli Hawkins. Like I said, she's not a guest; she's family, so she definitely will be here plenty of times. She's gonna be our how would you call it? She's gonna be our show dietitian. Help us make some different recipes. And in some shows, I may ask her, be like, hey, send me a recipe that we can have a recipe of the show, and that'll be the recipe of the show, and we'll talk about it. One recipe I want you to speak on real quick. I'm not sure. I'm gonna never mind. Let Birdie jump in there. Birdie, you got any questions for our sister? You trying to sit over there all quiet?
Well, I'm just enjoying the festivities
with your glowing skin.
Yeah, right.
What are you talking about?
Looking like Black Spanky with his hat on.
No, this dude did not call me Black Spanky. You know what? I'll deal with you later, sir.
Spanky used to wear his hat like that too.
Look, I'm just trying to make sure that the people see the drip. This is Polo, the horse, trying to see the horse on the hat. Anyway, so Kelly, I do have a question. So as a younger person growing up, what was it that you wanted to be in life? I mean, you're an accomplished author. So what actually did you want to be growing up?
So at first I wanted to be an anthropologist.
Oh, wow.
Yes. At first I wanted to be an anthropologist. I really have my sights set on being an interpreter. And I almost joined the Navy out of high school. But you know, the one thing that I will say about my younger self is that my younger self allowed other people to talk me out of things that I would have been great at. And so going forward to my older self, I've learned to shut those voices out of my head, because what I have learned is that not everybody is going to want you to succeed at a specific journey. And if you go around in life and you try to satisfy those people,
Whew.
you're the one that's going to be sitting there looking like a deer in headlights, and they're going to be laughing at you. You know? So, yes, I had dreams of, you know, again, first anthropology, because I think what really fascinated me when I was younger was the pyramids in Egypt. And so I loved how, you know, the anthropologists, you know, they uncover an ancient artifact, and, you know, that kind of stuff really excites me. And I really want to go to Egypt one day, and I want to experience seeing those pyramids. I really do.
Okay. Nice. So okay, so out of the books that you've written, all these dishes that you came up with, what is your favorite dish?
Okay, so that is so easy. So, and I've been under the weather, so you guys have to excuse the me clearing my throat and everything. But I used to have a part-time job, and I went to that job every Saturday. And every Saturday, I went and got me some fried rice. And normally it was beef fried rice. So when I learned how to make the cauliflower fried rice, me and my son fight. It's so delicious that you don't know that it's not rice, is actually rice cauliflower. So that is my favorite dish, and I've learned how to make different variations of that dish. Recently I started making it with the shrimp, and I have was it Baja had a seasoning, a fried rice seasoning, and it really makes that dish taste really good. So that is my favorite dish.
I got a question real quick. Instead of, what do you use for soy sauce?
Oh, I use soy sauce.
You use regular soy sauce? So the sodium?
Use soy sauce. I don't have high blood pressure. But
they have a light soy sauce.
Yeah, there's light soy sauce, and there's also amino acids. So
well, that's what I was raised. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I use. I use amino acids, and the amino acids taste just like soy sauce. You cannot tell the difference, no aftertaste or anything. So when I make my homemade fried rice or whatever, that's exactly what I use, and the house smells just like you got some fried rice from the Chinese store. So yeah, if y'all need anything, use amino acids.
Look at Orlando trying to be all improvising and stuff. Look at that.
Whatever. Hey, look, let me say this real quick too, not to cut y'all off. I just Googled the Spanky character. Y'all got me messed up. Y'all got me messed up, man. Y'all got me messed up talking about Spanky. We'll have no music for a music break because y'all have completely messed me up on that one. Spanky.
Which Spanky did you look at? You know
I Googled Spanky and the little dude from the Little Rascals popped up. So who y'all talking about?
That's what we was talking about.
First of all, you two jokers just showed your age. That's number one. Secondly, we ain't even the same color. All right? Let's just put that right there. We're not even the same color. Look like a black Spanky. You know what, man? Play some music. Play some music. Have a music break on that.
That's why I said black Spanky. That's why.
He did say black Spanky. He did say that.
I'm appalled. I am appalled.
Well, he could have said you look like buckwheat, but he didn't.
We fighting when I see you. We fighting when I see you.
I said he could have said, but he didn't.
No, you said that.
No, I said he could have said you look like buckwheat, but he didn't. I thought Spanky was.
Oh my God!
Y'all, everybody that's watching, y'all see how they do me. Y'all see how they do me.
What I tell you, Kelly is not no guest. We would not act this way in front of a regular guest.
We have people that might be tuned in for the first time. Spanky and buckwheat. Next is gonna be alfalfa. I'm done. I am officially done.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious. That was too funny.
I thought Spanky was cute.
Oh, I was about to lose it.
Clean it up now.
Spanky was cute. He was cute and
I was
round.
just saying because of the hat. That's just because of how you had the hat. No other reason.
And
Kimberly.
then and I did say, you know, well, he does look like Spanky with his hat like that. I did say that.
Still call me Spanky. I'm done. I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't.
Angela said that y'all missed each other.
I love both of y'all, but I don't like y'all right now. Like, really. I love y'all, but I don't like y'all.
Well, as long as you still love me, you ain't gotta like me. As long as you still love me. Oh my goodness, that's
my God.
Kelly already said every time we get together, she be rolling. So,
oh my gosh.
How can people get your books? And is there a plan for a third book?
Oh, actually, books 3 and 4 are in the works.
3 and 4.
Books 3 and 4.
Right.
Now, they may be the last of the series of the number series. I don't know. But basically, what book 3 is going to be, book 3 is going to contain 23 more recipe ideas. And book 4 is going to be a combination of books 1, 2, and 3. And let me explain basically the concept. So in books 1 and 2, basically these books are about my journey. Book 1, of course, was about my journey being diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. So I tell a story. So, you know, when you guys get the books, please read the story. It's got great information in it. So I tell a story, and I also tell you what my symptoms were and what those symptoms are coming from. So it gives those explanations for what is the blurred vision, what is your A1C supposed to be, what is your daily intake of carbs supposed to be. That's what book 1 basically breaks down. Book 2 goes a little further because book 2 was written after number one, I went from, honestly, like around a size 22. I was around a size 22. I refused to believe that I was that large. So I wouldn't buy anything over size 18. Okay, so yeah, my 18s were tight, but I went from December of 2015 being a size 22 to September of 2016 now. That's when book 2 basically starts from. I was a size 8. Really, I was a size 6. I was really tiny. I had everything went down. My weight went down. My numbers, my A1C numbers were going down. Now, it did take me until 2018 to get it to a 5.2. But how great is that? You know, my doctor told me I was like the best patient that he has. And let's just, let's just be real about it. I've had myself in remission all of this time. So basically, book 2 is about the fact that I had lost all the weight. I was able to buy clothes in the single digits. I give an explanation of why, like when you're heavier, why do you wear, why does your foot seem like it's bigger? I give an explanation for that in book 2. So every book gives you little tidbits about the things that diabetes can bring on. So in book 3, I am going to talk about bleeding gums. I'm going to talk about sexual health, because sexual health is important too when you're a type 2 diabetic. I'm going to talk about basically what COVID did to us, because book 3 is starting from us being in COVID. COVID changed everything. COVID changed basically how our work days looked. COVID changed how people, children went to school. COVID changed everything. And so COVID, we found out during COVID how COVID affected people who were diabetic. Very important. So again, numbers is basically channeling how serious type 2 diabetes is. And Kimberly, we're gonna work together and we're gonna get that A1C back down, because what you don't want to do, you don't want to ever be categorized as a diabetic. Right now, you have the opportunity to reverse that all the way back and never be categorized as a diabetic. But I am a diabetic for the rest of my life. I'm just in remission. You don't want that. You don't want to have to be on medications to get your A1C down, because those medications do other things too. A lot of women have the thinning of the hair right here because of the medication. Again, we want to kick type 2 diabetes in the behind, and we want to put it in timeout, period. And that's what numbers is about. And I'm gonna make you some of that potato salad.
The sweet potato salad?
Yes, ma'am.
My mommy used to make it, and I didn't really learn how to do it, so I miss her so much.
Well, I'm gonna make you some. You like deviled eggs?
Yes.
Okay, so I put deviled eggs on top of my potato salad. Whether I make it with the white potatoes or the sweet potatoes, but I'm definitely gonna make you some potato salad.
And then I'm gonna FaceTime Orlando and Birdie so they can see me eating it.
Just about to see, Orlando, you see how they just threw that in our face because they're gonna be together, so they're gonna have their little dishes and stuff. It's all good.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
Kelly, I do have one more question. So, with the alternative of eating healthier and the way that you've been doing your foods, is that is it cost efficient? Because I know I've heard people say that they go to the grocery stores and stuff, and some of these a certain style of eating, it is more expensive than just some other things. So, is it cost efficient?
So, one thing I do want to clear up, a lot of people say, "Oh my gosh, your books are vegan." No, they're not. No, I'm not a vegan. My books are not vegan. To eat vegan, yeah, that's very expensive.
Yeah,
To eat low carb, no. Again, so these chips cost about the same thing as tortilla chips, regular tortilla chips. I think, and again, I have a complaint because now I'm having a hard time finding these chips in the regular grocery stores. So I may have to just order them from the website. But these chips are only like $3.99 if you go into the grocery store. And regular tortilla chips are about the same. So no, it's you're not going to be spending more. You're going to be spending the same. But if you're on the whole vegan diet where you're buying vegan based products are a lot more expensive. So yeah, vegan based products will break the bank, but to eat low carb, no.
Now, Kelly, I recently, I don't know if you or four of you have seen this ads on Facebook with a grocery store called Thrive Market. It's like you join them for $5 a month, but they groceries are only ordered online. That's how they keep their costs down. Mm-hmm. But they offer low carb, vegan, and vegetarian options, at a fraction of the cost. And then you going to like a Trader Joe's or Whole Foods and things like that. And it's not regular brands that we would see going to those stores. It's different brands, but it has been worth it to me. Like, I don't feel like I'm about to start having to eat cat food because I can't afford groceries.
Oh, wow. So no, I've seen those ads, though.
Yeah, I encourage y'all to try it at least once,
Oh. Because on my show, me and my friend Stephanie were talking about there's nothing out here in our area like a Trader Joe's and mm-hmm. and what is that?
Sprouts.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like that out here. We have to go like a whole hour out of our way to get to those stores. So that's some good information. I need to check it out.
Now, another thing somebody just turned me on to, you've probably seen this on Facebook too. It's called Misfits Groceries. And that's where it's like organic fruits and vegetables that might not be pretty when they picking it, mm-hmm. but it's still good. So they send you a box of fruits and vegetables, and it's just as good, and it's really cheap.
Oh,
so I'm gonna try them too, because I've heard good things about those.
Well, I might have to order me something from there. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I encourage every one of us on this show to learn how to grow one thing. Honestly, I tried to grow some tomatoes. I killed like 3 tomato plants. But I will tell you that if we learn how to do little things like that, because I know like tomatoes, lettuces, green onion,
and
those.
You can grow potatoes too.
Yeah, like you can actually grow them in your house.
Yeah, my neighbor used to grow them in her flowers. She told me she would get these big flower pots, and she would grow her potatoes in the flower pots.
See, so I'm a
Uh,
challenge. I'm a challenge myself, but I'm a challenge everybody on the show to learn how to grow at least one thing. One thing.
Hmm.
Yes.
One thing.
Kim, my brother, Mr. Scribe, wants to know, can you share that information again? I'm assuming he's talking about where you get the food from, that site that you just mentioned.
It's called
Yeah.
Thrive Market. THRIVE Market. Thrive Market.
Got that, Mr. Scribe. And I was sharing Mr. Scribe's information about his book. He has some poetry books and everything on Amazon. So y'all go to Amazon and check out if you're into poetry. Check out our brother Mr. Scribe and his poetry and everything, things of that nature, man. So yeah, let's get back into some more poetry, man. I used to love reading Langston Hughes and things of that nature. So yeah, get back into that. Especially y'all young guys, man. Get into that
Yeah.
poetry and woo some of these women. Woo, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
baby. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
too.
I'm feeling
Orlando is off the chain
Yeah,
tonight.
he
He
is.
is.
Feeling,
He done
feeling
had his
poetic right
little
now.
amino acids. You can't tell him nothing now.
You
I'm
know,
feeling poetic right now. As a matter of fact, here's a 2-line poem for both of y'all. I think that y'all are janky because I don't look like Spanky. Hey, how about that?
oh my god.
But you know what?
Woo. Oh
One
my
thing
god.
that I will say too, when it comes to, health and diet, again, I don't push any type of diet trend. The only thing that I push is low carb. Again, because low carb works very, very well for a type 2 diabetic. And the one thing that I do want to say, type 2 diabetes is totally preventable, period. And
Mhm.
so when you learn how to balance your diet, when you learn that eating things that are a little bit more healthier for you is not bad, people will stop being afraid to modify. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want to be blind. I don't want to lose a limb. You know, um, those things are extremely life changing,
Mhm.
and it's preventable. So spread the word. Low carb is it's simple. It's not going to break the bank, and it's honestly, it's really delicious. It is really delicious. I um that fried rice dish, I said that me and my son fight over that dish. Me and my son actually fight over it. Mama, are you gonna eat all of that? Like, yeah, Jamie, and I'm gonna eat all my food.
Mhm.
He even likes it. And at the time when I started making that, he was like 15, 16 years old. So again, this food is delicious. Delicious. I'm making a couple of things for Dr. Kyrie. I'm
Mm.
making some of my green onion salad dressing, and I'm gonna make a batch of brownies. But again, like the avocado brownies, everybody says, "Oh well, I don't like avocado," or "Oh, I love avocados." It's really not about the avocado at all, because if I gave you a piece of that brownie, you eat it, and it's just like a brownie. You don't even know it's avocado.
Real quick, how many people that has gotten it confused with like going gluten free towards carb free?
A lot of people get everything confused, especially when you mention numbers. They feel that um, it's a vegan book, plant based. No, not gluten-free, not plant-based, not vegetarian, just low carb, period.
Are the
Oh,
recipes easy to make? Like easy for somebody who's a beginner?
Yes.
Not a lot
Yes.
of prep time and things like that.
I will say that the brownies have a little bit more ingredients in it
Mm-hmm.
than every other recipe in the book, but it's very simple. Like I can make them without even looking at the recipe, of course, because I've made them, over and over again. But
Mm-hmm.
again, everything is simple because I am not known for my cooking. Even though I can cook now, I'm not known for my cooking. So I put these ideas together because they are simple, they are efficient, and they're delicious.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that's the most important thing. They're delicious.
well, when you
I'll
get a
let you
chance,
know.
even after the show, when you get a chance, put your information inside of the comments for folks that come back to it and everything. They can check out the book and purchase your book and support you. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Let's Talk Gospel V.T.S. And man, we're about to wrap it up for tonight. Brother Birdie, let's go ahead and start wrapping it up.
Thank you, sir. So to everybody that was tuned in tonight, whether you watch this live or you're catching this on a replay, we truly appreciate you. You could have been anywhere in this world, but you decided to spend some time with us, and that's truly a blessing. Do us a favor, please, and go out and support our sister Kelli Hawkins. Pick up her books on numbers 1 and 2, and help knock out the diabetics. Help fight that. This is all jokes aside. We cracked a lot of jokes tonight, but this is something real serious. Your health is something that's serious, right? So pick these books up. She's gonna put her links in the chat, and y'all go and support her. All right, sis. Of course, he said your family, which you are, so you're welcome to come back whenever you want to, at any time. Especially welcome if you sending me in Orlando some of that food. I'm just saying, it don't always have to be about Kim. But anyway, we enjoyed you, sis. Thank you so much for you coming on, and we appreciate you.
I had such a good time.
All right, Kim, don't be looking at your hater for real, Kim. You're a hater.
What? She about to get
You're a hater.
I was just
This is-
here
this
along
is the
for the
thing.
ride. You in Orlando,
See, this
did
is
all
the
the
thing.
interviewing.
This
I'm
is
just
the
chilling.
thing. Anyway, this is the thing. Kim has already had Dr. Kyrie's cookies. She's
Yeah.
about to have Kelly's food when she goes
Right.
down there. We're the only ones that haven't had nothing. But yet she acts like that's okay though. That's okay.
It's all
I got
good.
it.
Yeah,
I got
Orlando, just like
got
you
it.
got all the t-shirts in every color. So now, see,
She got a
Hey.
point, bro. You do have all the t-shirts.
But I didn't get them for
Yes.
free though. I didn't give them for free though. I still had to pay for them. Exactly.
You have a point, sis.
You got
You
you got
have a point.
the
You did have to pay for
cookies,
them.
didn't you? You got the cookies for free, didn't you?
no, I did not. I bought Dr. Kyrie's cookies.
You know how when Kim is telling a little white lie, she always turns her head and looks that way. No, I did not. Yeah, right.
No, I bought Dr. Kyrie's cookies. I didn't get any free. The only free cookie I got is when I took half of Angie's and she didn't know it.
Oh,
Well,
now
there
she
you go.
knows.
You got that too.
She know it now.
She know now.
You know it now.
When she realized
She know
that
it
we
now.
went in to get her cookie, and it was only half there. She knew
Oh.
then. But
That's
no,
okay.
every cookie
So-
of Dr. Kyrie's I have purchased, along with the great hot chocolate that she has there, and the coffee.
So you just
That's okay.
wrapping people cookies.
Cookies. I'm gonna buy some cookies, Birdie, and I'm gonna have them shipped down to you. That's okay.
I appreciate it, bro.
Then we're gonna save them until we come on the show, and then we're gonna eat them in front of.
We on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. So I'll just get me my own cookies while I'm there next weekend, and I'll join you with eating them on the show. How about that?
I hope they give you gas. I hope I get gas. I ain't lying.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I know you like what do you like, the cranberry?
I like the cranberry.
Yeah, you know how cranberry give toots.
That's right. You on the show and everybody wondering why you over there with your face round up like, we know. Yeah, we know why.
Don't try to blame it on Bear. Don't try to blame it on Bear. Don't try to blame it on Bear. We know now.
Facebook gonna kick us off for sure.
They better not, because I've seen a lot worse than what we talking about.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
Oh my goodness gracious, you right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all were wondering about the music, man, we do have a last track that we're gonna end the show off with, and it's called "Gifted" from Written Psalms from our brother Complete, his brand new EP that he just dropped a couple of days ago. I'm testing some things out to see how the algorithms work when you do not have music played in your shows, to see if they push our shows out a little bit more without the music being in the body of the show. So it's just something that I'm testing out. Just something that I'm testing out. So don't get a heart attack, artists. And we haven't stopped playing your music. We're just testing some things out. Just remember, man, I'm gonna get some shirts made, and the shirts are gonna say "purchase over streams." That's what it's gonna say. The shirts are gonna say "purchase over streams." I'm really going through, pushing this even more for artists and for people, because I'm not an artist. I'm not pushing this for me. I'm pushing this for, my brother Birdie and other artists out here that are trying to, they have their ministries and they're trying to do things. But, these streaming sites, until these streaming sites start paying artists more per stream, purchase their music. Do your homework, artists. Go to Bandcamp, see how much they're paying you. See how much some of these affiliates are actually paying you for selling their music. What percentage are you receiving? Because you're not receiving nothing. Yeah, you may get a lot of streams. You may get 2 million streams, 3 million streams, but that's not equating into anything far as financially. But if you sold your product, that money will be coming back to you. So yeah, man, we got to start letting folks know this and let them know this quickly. And then on the other end of it, if you're not doing anything with your music and not picking up your royalties, folks like Beyonce and Jay-Z and everybody else is getting your royalties. Think about that.
Yeah. It goes into a pot, unclaimed royalties. It goes into a pot, and they split it up amongst the popular artists. So yeah, do your research, artists. Yeah.
So let's think about that, man. So let's start purchasing these artists' music instead of running to Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon and places like that and streaming it. Streaming is fine, but buy the album first or buy the single first and then go stream it. But at least you have supported them and invested in that artist. That's what I look at true investment. If you're actually buying it, because when you pay for the monthly subscription, that monthly subscription don't go to the artist. It goes to Spotify. It goes to Amazon. It goes to Apple. So let's do right, man. Let's do right. But anyway, so the name of this joint is called Gifted from our brother Complete. And I'm going to let y'all know, yes, he sent it to me for free. That's right. But we have 2 radio stations. So, of course, artists want to send it to us, but they get royalties off the music we play on their radio, on our radio station. And I also purchased the EP. So most radio hosts or even radio personalities will not go and purchase the artist's music at all either. I purchased his EP as well. So I'm putting my foot out there. So hey, if I can do it, y'all can do it. Save up on that McDonald's and Wendy's. Go buy you some bean chips and go tooting. All right, let's go. Oh,
I got my life in order. I got my vision focused. No, I'm not perfect. I made some bad choices. I used to drink and drive. I haven't always been faithful. One day I went to God. He showed me he was graceful. He took all the lies away. He took all the pain away. I haven't reached my prime. Still growing every day. Love is on my mind. His name is on my heart. I'm just focused on the mission while doing my part. That's real. They got a problem with clapping for me because they know that I'm gifted. I got a problem with faking for them because that's not living. Why would I act surprised when shots get fired on my mission? Living in my present. Thank God I am gifted. They got a problem with clapping for me because they know that I'm gifted. I got a problem with faking for them because that's not living. Why would I act surprised when shots get fired on my mission? Living in my present. Thank God I am gifted.
Thank God that I'm gifted. Thank God for the vision. I was at the bottom. I thank God I was lifted. When I get married, I'ma thank God for my missus. Shout out to my father, shout out to my future children. Mookie is the biggest. Mookie about his business. Call me 60 seconds, you ain't seen me in a minute. Growing up was cool, I remember watching Gremlins. In 36 years, I ain't never seen a pilgrim. God, you know I love you, I thank you for my existence. Kept me on the straight and narrow, kept me out of prison. When you're talking to me, please know that I'm listening. Everything you're trying to do, we already did it. That's a rerun.
They got a problem with clapping for me because they know that I'm gifted. I got a problem with faking for them because that's not living. Why would I act surprised when shots get fired on my mission? Living in my present. Thank God I am gifted. They got a problem with clapping for me because they know that I'm gifted. I got a problem with faking for them because that's not living. Why would I act surprised when shots get fired on my mission? Living in my present. Thank God I am gifted.